Welcome to This Time with Daniel Shahbaz. Today we're doing a top 10 of the worst movies of 2018.
Yeah.
You like that?
I liked it. I was going to say, is this the top 10 worst intros of all time? Because this is it. So this is our personal list of worst movies. This list is not in order until we get to the top 3. So these are our personal opinions on movies, and we're not saying that all these movies are bad. These are just the ones that we found the least enjoyment in.
People worked hard on them.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Alright, so starting off with number 10, we have Vice. So we just did a review for Vice, and it's pretty much up there right now. Slow, boring, not enough character development, and I don't know. I fell asleep.
Yeah, this is kind of marketed almost like a Wolf of Wall Street type of energy to it. And oh my god, this movie's like...
Suck the energy out of us.
Suck the energy out of us while walking through a snowstorm in the mud.
On fire.
And dying.
Wow.
That's what it felt like watching this movie, just in terms of my time.
Okay.
Yeah. Number 9.
Happy Time Murders. The Happy Time Murders.
Happy Time Murders.
This movie, directed by Jim Henson's son. Am I wrong?
Right.
Right. So I'm right. Okay.
You're right. You're right about the movie, not wrong about who it's by.
But I am right about this movie being awful.
It's right to be on this list.
Yes. So the movie I felt like it had such a cool concept.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see, like a rated R Muppets movie.
Yeah, for sure.
And I still didn't get that.
Yeah. And this is the thing, like, Melissa McCarthy has had some good roles throughout the years, but, like, I think she just falls into her being that slapstick, over-the-top, predictable comedy from her, and, like, this movie goes so hard in trying to be shock humor, but those jokes don't land.
No.
You know what I mean?
I think maybe, like, one joke landed, and we were all like, huh.
That's not...
That was the sound that I made when I laughed.
But like you said, this movie had a lot of potential, but this movie didn't see that.
No.
Yeah.
Number 8.
Number 8 is Mile 22.
I'll be honest with you, I forgot that we saw this movie.
Yeah, this movie feels like we saw it years ago. Yeah. So it stars Mark Wahlberg as a Mark Wahlberg character.
Right.
And they have to try and get, I guess, a convoy from one location to another.
I remember there being a subplot about some sort of like nanny cam thing, or
or some social media like that you can't swear.
Family-based social media.
And I mean, I think that's where this movie fails, is that we're coming out of it remembering that stuff, other than what actually happened in this movie.
This movie's so bad.
Yeah, and it sucks though, because like you have talent in this movie that's coming from like the Raid movies.
Was it Peter Berg that directed it too?
Peter Berg directed this movie as well too.
My God.
And he's coming off some great films.
Great films.
And this movie isn't one of them.
No.
Don't watch it.
Don't watch it.
No.
Number 7. Should we do that again?
We can.
Yeah. Number 7.
So number 7 is one that I watched this year.
Yeah. I tried watching it at home, I won't lie.
How'd it go?
Well, I only got to the first 3 minutes of the film.
Okay.
So it wasn't great.
You tapped out. Predator. This is the reboot/sequel boot of the Predator movie, directed by Shane Black, who's actually in...
The first Predator.
The first Predator.
Yeah.
This movie really tried to create something new and make the Predator cool, but my god, this movie was bad.
Yeah.
And it sucks. Again, I think a reoccurring theme on this list of the potential and the talent behind the movie. You have Larry Fong behind the camera, Shane Black writing and directing. You have a cool cast of characters. But yeah, this movie is just... Things are happening, you're not really invested in these characters. You don't like them because they're all trying to be assholes. And all trying to be like that sly, sarcastic...
Son of a gun.
...person. Doesn't work. And then the last, I would say, 20 minutes of this movie, you could tell was totally reshot. Because it doesn't match anything that was happening before.
Oh, great. Good
yeah. So, don't watch it.
Yeah.
You don't need to.
Number 6.
6,
God. Ocean's 8.
You should have made this number 8.
Hey! Alright. Number 6 was... I don't know why I keep doing that. Number 6 was Ocean's 8. And again, another movie that I forgot that we saw this year.
Yeah, feels a long time ago.
It has Sandra Bullock, Sarah Paulson, just a whole group of
Mindy
wonderful
Kaling,
actresses.
Kate Blanchett.
All Helena Bonham Carter.
Yep.
Again, all fantastic actresses choosing to do
Awkwafina.
a film.
Sorry.
Yeah.
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 Rihanna. Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, a bunch of good actresses. But
James
again,
Corden.
in a movie with a plot that felt way too It was just luck versus skill.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. And the Ocean's films really do a good job of showing skill.
Yeah, and I mean, here's the thing, like, with heist movies, like, you always know twists and turns are coming. This one just felt so predictable, and yeah, like, you never really, this is like a movie that was announced, and it was kind of at that time when, like, the female Ghostbusters was being announced, and people started, like, reacting, saying, oh, they're just making a reboot of using female characters, but I liked the plot of how this was going to be centered around Danny Ocean's sister, but like this, it just never really. It
doesn't have any connection. It feels.
Yeah, and it didn't, and I think it was a huge misstep to not even try and tie it in a little bit more.
No.
Yeah, tie it in a little bit more.
That was you tying something.
That was me tying something.
Well, Boy Scouts. Number 5. Number 5 is We Are Venom.
Thank God, this is the last time I'm gonna have to see this year. My God.
So Venom. Here's the thing with Venom. I didn't like it, but I was still entertained by it.
Okay, the whole time?
Through the times where my eyes weren't bleeding.
Okay.
Yes, so it was just like it was at some points, and I feel like in a few years this movie's gonna be one of those movies that it's so bad it's good. Maybe like it might, like I'm talking about 10 years from now, that'll reach that Spider-Man 3 kind of thing where it's like, hey, put on Venom again. I want to really hate myself.
Here's the thing: I want to watch this movie again at home at some point in my life. Maybe I'm feeling low one night. Maybe. I'll put it on.
Yeah.
I just remember being so blown away at the absurdity that I was watching.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy in a restaurant jumping in fish tanks.
With lobsters, I think.
It's insane.
Yeah.
But also, like you said, there are moments where like I'm so entertained.
Like you're like watching a train wreck in a way, you know? You're just like, oh yeah.
Yeah, you can't help but not look away.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Number 4.
Solo.
Number 4 is Solo, and
a Star Wars story.
A Star Wars story, yes. Yeah. And this is the movie that we were so excited about when it was announced because the creative minds Phil Lord and Chris Miller were attached to it. And then, 7 months into filming, they were let go.
Yep.
And in stepped in Ron
Howard.
Apollo 13 Howard.
Yeah, that's
Apollo
his official name.
Yeah. That's his name, and he brought his own flavor into the movie.
Right.
Which is the most bland seasoning I think you can give me. Yeah,
I mean this is a tale of two movies. I think at the end of the day, you have parts of this movie that you see uniqueness and you're like, oh, let's try and break away from the conformity of the Star Wars, what you expect of it.
Right. And
then you have generic plot device to move things forward.
Right.
Again, this movie has an awesome cast.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the guy who played Solo.
What's his name again?
I forget.
Chimchimaru, I think was his name.
That's him.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I liked the character who played Solo. I liked the cast of this movie. You have Paul Bettany. You have Woody Harrelson. Donald Glover as Lando.
That's what we wanted.
Yeah.
We petitioned for that.
I remember when it was announced, I'm like, that's a perfect casting.
Yeah.
But even his acting in it felt like he was just trying to do
his best impression,
of Lando Calrissian.
Calrissian.
Oh my goodness!
And overall, the film
Billy Dee Williams.
Oh God, it was just so.
Super,
and I hated that robot in the movie. Lando's girlfriend.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, this movie is super forgettable. It's also, I think, the best thing about Han Solo is that mystery behind him, that you don't know what he's going to do next. And this movie tried to answer so many of those questions, like the Kessel Run, how he got the dice, how he got his name, things like that, where you're just like, I feel like it almost takes away from that mystery of that character, and we didn't need that.
It should have been a fun movie, but instead it was not.
No, it's not. Number 3. Now, this is where we start putting things in position.
This is where the chess pieces are now pieces.
Everything that we've spoken about up to this point could go in any order.
Yeah. Like, Venom could have been number 10, or it could be number 5.
Right. Now, these 3 movies, these are going to be in order of
bronze, silver, and gold winning of worst films.
Right. So if you win gold, you don't want to win gold.
You don't want to win gold.
Not on this list.
Not on this list. So, number 3 is, it's a painful one for us because the first one was our favorite film of 2015.
Yeah.
And
easily. By far.
By far. And now this one, Sicario Day of the Soldado.
Yeah.
Why was this movie made? Yeah. It has everything wrong with it pretty much. I mean, I remember some of the shots because you can tell they were trying to emulate the cinematography that Roger Deakins created in the first one. And then it just, acting, like everything, all the characters, like the mystery behind Benicio's Meridon character, or whatever his name was, all gone.
Yeah, and I think it's very similar to Solo, that you're getting a focus on characters that work better as secondary characters, right? The best thing about the first Sicario movie is that we are watching it through the eyes of Emily Blunt's character.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing it through the eyes of Josh Brolin and Benicio's character, and the atrocities that they commit.
Yeah.
So it's like you're not really rooting for them in this movie at all. And like that classic line at the end of this movie.
So you want to be a Sicario?
Yeah, it's just trying to set this movie up for another sequel that, like, this series didn't need that.
No.
Not at all. I think the first one is such a perfect standalone movie, and the only one that you ever need to watch if you want to see what's going on in that world.
Yeah.
Number 2. So number 2 on our list is another movie that hurts us to have it here, because it's one we were looking forward to. Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald.
If you told me that this movie would be on our top 10 list, especially this high on our list, I wouldn't have believed you.
Right. And I think this movie deserves a place on this list because it's a movie about nothing, it feels like.
I've never had a film in 3D come out of the screen and slap me hard in the face in this film.
Wow.
It was such an atrocity.
Yeah, and I mean, you're coming from the lineage of Harry Potter.
Yeah, which we're huge fans of.
We're gigantic fans of, as you could see behind us as well too. When you're following that lineage, yes, the first Fantastic Beasts movie, it didn't live up to that.
No.
But it also was an entertaining and fun movie.
There was some hope.
This movie tried to go so deep into the lore of Harry Potter that just...
It started making it its own.
Exactly. And again, there's a recurring theme here on our list with Solo and Sicario, now Grindelwald. Like, you're giving us answers to things that we don't want. You're trying so hard to tie into things that we do love, saying, hey, remember this?
Yeah.
And it's like throwing it in your face. And,
oh, yeah.
I mean, you have characters like Newt, who just feels like a secondary character in this movie. Yeah. The characters that we do focus on, like, you're focusing on things that don't matter to the plot. And you have Johnny Depp, who plays Grindelwald, who's... They tell us how bad he is, but you don't really see...
You don't get it. You don't get it how bad...
I mean?
Like, I mean, Voldemort seems like a bad guy for sure.
I don't think there's a debate. Sorry to cut you off. No, I don't think there's a debate whenever we see someone saying, oh, who's worse, Grindelwald or Voldemort? It's Voldemort. Yeah. 100% of the time. Always. Yeah. Anything else you want to add to that?
Just, how dare you? Number 1! Oh my god.
We made it.
This year has been a rough year. Yeah. We made our list of top 10 films. Our list kept growing, and we had to cut some films out. So this year was a tough year for film, I think.
I think this year in general, we're going to discuss this more in a future video, but this year in general has just been a very much passable year in terms of movies. There's been some very high highs.
But some super low lows.
And let's talk about that low right now. Which is weird considering the name of this movie.
Yeah, that is funny. So when the original Pacific Rim was marketed and coming out, you and I were both like, that looks weird. Right. Let's skip this. Yeah. Then we saw it and we were like, foot in mouth. That was awesome.
That was
had a
really
great time.
Cool movie.
Del Toro, you killed it.
Yeah.
Just visually cool, and overall, I felt like a kid.
Definitely.
In this one, I wanted to gouge my eyes out.
Go on.
Throw up.
Yep.
And get hit by a car. Is that not bad enough?
I'll take it. I'll allow it.
Pacific Rim Uprising was the worst film this year by so many miles. It really just takes that goal and runs with it.
Here's the thing. Whenever you see a movie kind of jump studios and push development and things like that, it's kind of always like a little bit of a warning sign.
It is.
So this movie is now Universal taking over. John Boyega is now the star of it. And they're tying him into the plot because he's the son of a character from the first movie. Again, the lineage of things continues with trying to tie things into things that we associate, that we like, and then just totally just
ruin it,
mucking it up.
Yeah.
You know, there's so much visual diarrhea in this movie in terms of the CGI. And again, no disrespect to the people who work on this movie, the CGI artists, anyone like that. But when you have, I mean that in the sense of just complete scenes of it basically being like an animated movie and not following what's happening.
It's also so much brighter than the first one. That
super bright. It's very jarring,
There's a subplot, and I don't care if it's a spoiler, but Charlie Day has sexual relations with one of the kaiju brains.
And we love Charlie Day.
Yeah, we love Charlie Day. And what kind of subplot was this?
Yeah, because like his character was interesting in the first movie, right? Like he was like that wild card.
Yeah, wild card.
But in this movie, it's like his turn is literally so like comic book sinister. Like it was just like
God.
I think he did that. At one
I think
point
you did that at one point.
I did
in the movie.
It was more entertaining than
yes,
that
it
movie.
was.
And it just sucks though because like robots fighting giant monsters
Should be cool.
Should be cool. It shouldn't be a bad time.
No.
This movie figured out how to do it.
Yeah.
And Stephen DeKnight, who's also the showrunner for Daredevil season 1,
yeah.
He was on Smallville, which I loved watching growing up as well too. Like he has a great career. Shout out to Smallville. He has a great career, and like this movie, like I hope he gets another shot at another live action movie. But
I still think he's talented.
I still think he's talented. But my God, this movie is just
it's so bad.
It
gets the gold.
It gets the gold this year of worst movie
this year. So that was our top 10 worst films this year. We're definitely going to have a top 10 of the best as well. So and hopefully we'll redeem for that. Again, thank you so much. We have over 100 subscribers now. Yes. And you guys are leaving so many great comments. So that was this time.
We'll see you next.